All right, we're live. This is Paint Girlie, also known as Lori. And oh God, I hope that's not a bug in my, no, it's on my screen. I thought there was a bug in my coffee, but there are little splashes of paint on my, oh my gosh, I hope my chat's gonna work today. Let's see. Doesn't look like it's gonna. To get out the phone. Anyway, this is going to be a live stream. We're going to just try a little project here. Booting up my phone so I can see chat. And let's see here. And live chat. Skip survey. Good morning, Holly. Go back to bed. Me? We're talking to me? All right, I got to move some more stuff out of the way here so I can now make room for my... I have this little easel. I picked up a little card game. Let's see, Top Chat. That's what I want, Top Chat. Yeah, my chat's not, boy, I'm going to have to investigate that. My chat's not coming up on my screen again. Anyway, this little game, I think it's I got it for the cards, an Antiques Roadshow. I got it for the game cards. And when I opened it up, it had this little easel in it. And look, I can hang my phone on it. Oh, I should make sure my sound's all the way down. It is, okay. And I can hang my phone on it. It makes it a little easier for me to see chat. Good morning, Candy. Girls, I'm trying to get myself into a groove of coming on sometime. And I'm going to probably narrow that down because I always forget when it's Saturday because being retired, I never know what day it is. Hello, Deb. So let me see if I put my phone, that might work a little better, on my keyboard. Okay, I was just sitting here thinking, oh, I want to get involved in something, and I should be cleaning. Okay. Washing and brushing my teeth. Good morning, Deb. And I thought, oh, phooey. And I mean cleaning up my craft space. I mean, I've got a mess again. But anyway, I thought, well, let me just pop on. I feel like crafting a bit. I didn't do much of anything yesterday. Our son was here, and I just kind of lazed around and fiddled with a few things here and there. You know what? I need something to cover. I always go the wrong direction. I need something to cover up that glare on my workspace. That might not be the best choice. That's going to get in the way. Let's see, what else might I have? So I was rummaging through some things, and I keep running across my little packet of Kantha. That's not big enough. Oh, Lori. This is a prototype. Maybe this will be. Well, I'm going to leave that there for just this second. See if I run across anything else that might work a little better. That won't be distracting. Hope that's not distracting. Anyway, this is the second time I've heated up my coffee. Let's see if I can get a sip before it goes cold. Anyway, I have this little packet I want to show you of some Kantha cloth. I think I discovered this site on Etsy, and then at the very same time, Holly had said to me, oh, you've got to check out this lady's Etsy site. She's got some really cool stuff, and here it was the same gal. And I think I had just at that time ordered She at that time, I don't know if she still has them. She had little bags of, I think they were $5 of little pieces of Kantha. And I wish I knew where I had them stored in my room here. I could show you. But they were really stuffed. And here it turned out to be the same gal that Holly was talking about. And I just ordered from her. I'll put her name down in the description box. Hey, good morning, Gail. Do you do coffee, Dev, or do you do tea? I really only woke up about maybe an hour ago. I was zonked out in my chair. And did I miss Sharon? Hey, Marlo, good morning. And I just placed an order with this gal again. Holly, do you remember the gal's name? Who I'm talking about? That Fabrique. It's like a French thing. I know you know who I'm talking about, huh? Maybe Holly can put the gal's info in. Anyway, yeah, I just heated up my coffee. See, I still haven't taken a sip. Whispering Cauldron, good morning. Whispering Cauldron, I feel like I should know your real name. But some folks are changing their names and stuff, so I'm not sure I have gotten everybody straight. Maybe Carol. Good morning, Carol. And so then I'm sitting here and I spy my stack. There it is. Amour Fabrique. Okay. She's got really cute stuff. Anyway, just placed another order with her, and I've got some plans to make some really cool kits for my next the next time I sell in the market. So I'm very excited about what I have coming in the mail. Good morning, Eileen. So I spied my stack of Kantha, and I'm probably not saying it right. I've looked it up a couple of times, but there seems to be a couple different ways you can pronounce the word. Anyway, I'm going to show you my stack of fabrics, and then I think I thought, you know what, maybe I'll stitch these together and make a little journal. And a little while back, like, I'm crazy for vintage hankies. So I've got tons, okay? Like, I'm borderline hoarder for vintage hankies. And I also have these little pins that I started to collect. I know, it's just craziness. But Holly had suggested perhaps putting them in a fabric journal. Now, I'm not sure that they will show up good in this kind of a fabric journal, but I thought, hey, I can do other stuff with this. So anyway, this is how my little package came from Fabrique, Amour Fabrique. Oh, did you, Eileen? Yes, I was looking at her paper as well. I have so much of that stuff, but I was tempted. I got some beads, and I'm getting some Kantha, and what else did I order from her? I think some sheer fabric. Can't wait till it gets here. It looks like she prepares her orders and then probably ships them all the same day. So mine is, and she's right in Florida. So I'm thinking, oh, I'll get that fairly quickly. But mine, I have the tracking number, but it hasn't shipped yet. I know her stuff is lovely. So anyway, this is how it comes, and she ties it together with a little piece of the fabric. So I don't think I need all these pages, but who knows? So I pulled out oh, she's in North Florida. Oh, that's even better. And I pulled out one of my jars of embroidery thread. So I'll be wanting to use that. So I'm going to put that off to the side. So these are the little squares I got. Let me just show you here as folks might be trickling in. And if you don't know anything about Kantha, and what I know about Kantha, you can put on, a thumbnail, like a thumbnail, which isn't much. But it's generally, you've got different fabrics one side to the next. It's been look, see, this piece hit the floor, so I've got all kinds of little bits. Yeah, I do too. I love the way it looks as well. That almost looks like a butterfly there. So I think these are, let's just see, because well, I can do this on my desk here, on my handy dandy Timmy thing. It's like 6.5 by 6.5 squares. So I thought, I wonder, okay, Holly, I wondered how it would look if I stitched it together. For those of you that joined us on the hop yesterday, I did what I think is probably a Japanese. Oh my gosh, guys, can I, of all times, for my daughter to call? Let me see. I'm just gonna. Let me just. This kid never calls me. Okay, and she's calling me now with my grandchildren. Gosh, let me see. I've got to figure out how can I, because I don't have that. I'm going to just take a moment here and text my daughter. Let me see if I can do this. I know you can still hear me. And let me get to her. And I'll say online streaming. Pop on and I can say hi to the kids. All right, so now let me come back to you guys. And you're there. And I'm live. Okay. Gotta stop and message our kids when they send us a little message. Absolutely. Family first. My granddaughter just graduated from kindergarten. And our daughter sent us a cute little picture of her. She's got a little T-shirt, I guess they gave the kids, that says first grade, here I come. I know, she looks so cute. And of course, she lost her first tooth on the bottom. So she's grinning and she's got the little, pumpkin jack-o'-lantern smile. Okay, look at this one. See, and then it's got a different color. Oh, see, I'm really loving these. Now, the thing with the stitching that I did in the hop yesterday is that it's, you have a straight line that you kind of follow. Oh, happy birthday, Deb's son. Today is Jersey's birthday as well. I have to make sure I send her a greeting. Look at this cool piece. This kind of looks like a butterfly wing there. Okay, hubby is now out, right out to the left of me, out in our little garden. He's doing some weeding this morning while it's still cool. Oh, he turned 42 on the 10th. Cool. My kids are not quite that old. Mine are 36 and 35. Oh, look at that. I love that. Look at that piece. So my idea was, oh, look, I have it maybe going the wrong way because all my stitches, I think maybe I want all my stitches going this way. Oh, orange. I've added orange to my list of favorite colors. Green, purple, and now orange. So my thought was, if I stitch this like I did my little travel notebook here, if any of you have not seen that, my little travel notebook that I did on the hop, you punch your holes so you have them all lined up. But on this, that was my one thought, was how am I going to keep the stitches straight? But if I pick out a piece that has these line stitches that are fairly straight, I might be okay. Because I tend to have a crooked eye, I must say. Because I won't be punching holes. I'm just going to go in with Oh, look at this one, girls. It's the edge, and it's got a crisscross stitch. That's kind of cool. So now I want to think about, oh, here's another piece like that. I want to, oh, wait, look at this. See, I like that crisscross. I definitely, you know what? Maybe I'll use these two for the cover. No, Eileen, I did not, but that sounds very intriguing. Eileen's asking if I saw all the designs you can do using the Japanese stab binding. I'm going to have to look that up. Look at this piece. Oh, I think that's very pretty. See, and they're thin pieces of fabric. So you've got 3 or 4 layers. Oh yeah, as soon as I'm off here, I'm going to look it up. Lots on the internet. Ooh. And then this last one. So I think I'm going to use several of these. I don't think I'm going to use them all because I have plans for a few. So I'm going to use these. I have 2 of these that have the outside edge has that different an X stitch, and then they're kind of like bound. So they kind of look like, gosh, if I'd thought about this sooner, I might have. I wonder if I can do that once I probably can. Once I get the book together, I may try to, because I don't want to sit here and like embroider while you guys are sitting here. I still haven't taken a drink of coffee. See, this is why it gets cold. It's almost cold already. So maybe I'll come back in and then stitch the top and the bottoms to kind of finish those off. Try to mimic that, all right? So this one I think I want to keep aside. These 2 I'm going to keep for a cover. And I think I'm going to put in largely some oranges, which of course there are quite a few here. See, I think that's just sweet. I love that one too, really. You know what? That is an excellent, excellent idea, Candy. You are so right. And I'm going to do the same thing. Japanese stab binding designs. Woohoo! All right. Good morning, Gabriella. What a pretty name. All right, so let me zhuzh my book up here a little bit. Let's see. There's a couple other pieces here I can. Loving the gold. These kind of go. Let's do that. This one I'm going to put aside, I think. Well, Gabriella, I have these squares of Kantha fabric. Welcome back, Holly. And I'm going to stitch them together, Japanese style. I don't know if you were able to join us for our Friday hop yesterday. I stitched together a little travel book, and I'm going to use this type of stitching to latch these single pieces of fabric together and make a fabric journal, which then I can do some slow stitching, put on pockets, or, who knows? I don't know what it'll end up, but for right now, I'm going to hopefully stitch this together to make a journal. And I have these really cool, well, they're cool to me. What do you call them? Pins. They're pins. They're like, oh, okay. Okay, Devin. Yeah, I mean, it's really fun to do that stitch. I've just been stitching. I did a live stream, I guess, a couple of days ago and did this one. Where is my, where did I put it? I've got all my little books sitting all around. So I did this stitch, Dev, on my hop and used pages out of an atlas. I had a few atlas pages left. And yes, true. Cloth, a quiet book for kids. And I put some pockets in and thought this might be something cute. You could either keep in your car to put receipts or whatnot, or just in your handbag. And of course, you can make them any size. Where's my other little? Oh, here it is. The first one I did on my stream, I covered a piece of cardboard with fabric. But this, I have to. I'm going to really have to bend that to get that to open. Thanks, Steph. So this is a way to use and bind pieces of loose paper. Um, I often have pages left. When you're taking, if you haven't ever, but if you've taken a book apart, there are always pages that are not a folio. They don't, where you can't put them into a signature. And I just hate losing those pages or not being able to use them. And so when I saw this on G Kerr, Gikerr is the name of her YouTube channel. She's fabulous. She does all kinds of stuff with paper and her journals and her. She's really good, girls. You need to check her out. So when I saw that, I thought, oh, those loose pages. And I had just purchased a. Let me grab these and show you. I just purchased an Edith Holden book, which many of us are familiar with Edith Holden. But this is a German version, and it's smaller, girls. This one's smaller. I know, right, Deb? Her videos are amazing. She's got the cutest little accent. She's got such a quiet voice, and her ideas are fabulous. So this book measures like 5.5 by 7 3/8. Okay. Oh, I'm getting so much better with my ruler. But her other books are larger, and a lot of times you have to fold them in half or cut them or, fussy cut them or whatever if you want to get them in a smaller journal. So I saw this. I think this I got from Abe's Books online. And of course, I loved that it was German. But when it came, I was thinking it was, I don't always read the fine print very well. Okay, just saying. It was glued. So I took all my pages apart. And then I thought, ooh, these would make cute little individual month journals, right? Because it's Edith's pages. And then they're all loose. So this one, I'm starting to get some things together to make a little journal. This is the month of December. So my idea is to cinch these together with this Japanese stitch. But now I have to decide what kind of cover I want to put. So anywho, my space here is full of ideas and unfinished projects. All right, so where am I? Oh, this is my stack I'm working with. Look at this pretty purple. All right, so I think this might just do me. I don't think I have to have, now see, that one's got a little, we're not going to fuss about that, Lori. Maybe we'll put it this way. All right, so now if I was using paper, I generally would punch holes and mark off. But because this is cloth, now do I want that as the front? I don't want that. Oh, that's cool. But I'm going to put that on the back. So now I've got my stacks of fabric. And I should have pulled out some binder clips. And I'm not going to be real crazy about it not being all squared off and perfect, because when I start cutting fabric to try to make it straight, I just make it worse. So I'm leaving it, okay? But I'm thinking I want to use a binder clip to hold these together. And I definitely want to use some embroidery floss. So let me get my jar and decide what color I'm going to go with here. Good morning, Nettie. Thanks for popping in. I'm not sure why my chat's not popped up here on I wonder if I hit something I wasn't supposed to. What a goober. Ooh, wait a minute. This might be. Now we've got that color. Nettie, I'm making a fabric journal out of 6.5 by 6.5 squares of Kantha fabric. And I'm going to stitch the spine together using the Japanese. Is it called the stabbing stitch? Eileen was calling it the stabbing stitch. And she mentioned that there are different designs you can do. So a few of us are going to check that out online at some point to see what other designs you can do. And I had gotten this stack of fabric, and so I've just put them together. And two of my pieces of fabric have a different edge, which kind of makes it look like, you know, a finished edge for a book. So now I'm picking out some. Seemed like a good idea at the time to put these threads in this big old cool vintage jar, but now they're not shaken down very well. So I'm trying to decide what color I might want. Anybody have any suggestions? What about altering linen pieces, and then you could slow stitch? Okay, what about altering with linen pieces, and then you could slow stitch in quarter? Oh, that's an idea, Dev. Yeah, alter. I know what you meant, hon. I knew what you meant. What do you mean, Gail? Storage for to store the book itself, or to store things in it? Yeah. Definitely a fabric journal is a different animal for sure. Oh, the floss. Yeah. Well, see, I have shelves above me, so I just sit it up on the shelf. I got you. Gail. Yeah. I have another jar of this as well, but the mouth is a little wider. So my idea initially was, yeah, it's a good idea, Dev. Thank you. I think I'm going to see what I have next to me here that I might be able to, might not be linen, but maybe I have some muslin. Yeah, right. So it looks really cute up on a shelf, Gail. I've got pom-poms in jars like these, and jingle bells, and so they're narrower and tall and clear, so I can see what's in them, and they're up on my shelves, and they kind of decorate my space as well. But you're absolutely correct. Not necessarily practical. And I think I'm liking, I don't know. I think I like the brighter red. You now need a Japanese screw punch. Oh, geez. Oh my gosh, Well, I like your use of the word need, Eileen. Yeah, I don't know much about fabrics either, but I might have some muslin I can grab fairly easy. Okay, so I'm thinking either coordinate or go with something totally bizarre and do like a totally bizarro color. Maybe I should just go light. Yeah, I don't know. It's always something. You know what? I always wanted one of those troughs for binding books. You know that the gals, you know, the real serious book binders and makers put their books in a trough to punch their holes to do their signatures. Oh my gosh! I'm gonna say to my husband, "Can you make something like this?" No. Well, why not? I just think he. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is like a salmon orange color. I've got to have it. I don't know. Is that too bizarre? Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking. The wooden one. I think they're so cool. All right, girls. So I'm down to this kind of a reddish burgundy, a salmon color, a this is more like a rookwood. If you use acrylic paints, there's a color called rookwood. It's more of a rookwood red, like a brownish red, or of course, there's no white that I see in my little tub here. I do have white somewhere, but heaven only knows where my other. Um, so I might stay away from the light color just because I tend to be anal. And if I'm going to go light, I'm thinking, you think the darkest one, this one here, or this one? All right, so we're down to these two. I think I'm going to go with this one. All right, thank you, ladies. Now I'll put these all back. My little bobbins. So, as you might have guessed, I at one time was really into cross stitching. Not embroidery, but cross stitching, although I don't mind embroidery. And I did give some of these to my niece who has started to get into some fiber arts, and she designs her own little embroidered pieces. But I still have this jar and, of course, another jar of thread. All right, so now I'm going to look to see if I can quickly grab some muslin. All right, now see this came with a coloring book in it from, I think, Korea. Hey, good morning, Chris. And it's just muslin that she stitched together. So let's see if I can easily pull these stitches. I don't throw anything away. Yeah, well, between the eyes and I've just gotten interested in so many different things in the last little years. And Tina, good morning, dear Tina. How are you doing, my sweet little lady? Hope you're doing well, having a good day. Ladies, if you want to remember Tina, would be great. Pray for Tina. She's got some things going on and could use a little boost, I'm sure. Pray for our little Tina. Good morning, Anne. How are things in sunny Florida? Okay, let's see here. I don't have too much grip left in my hands. So I'm using my little pair of, it's like my mind stops. It's like I'm thinking what I want to say, and then my mind stops, and I listen back to my videos to see if they look okay and whatnot, and then I think, oh my gosh, Lori, finish your sentence, say the word. Tweezers. There you go. There's the word. I didn't get to watch Becky. I have to watch the rest of the hop. I joined in late last night when Mary was finishing up. I fell asleep in my chair. Our son was here, and I was preoccupied with some stuff, and unfortunately, I didn't get to spend that time and watch. Well, Tina, we're just going to pray that when that 3-month mark comes, that we see a miracle. We're just going to boldly ask, okay, for a miracle for Tina. And I hope in this next 3 months that you're just feeling great and that your body is going to heal. All right, let's see here. I've got all kinds of needles. My work area here is an old office desk. Okay, Gail, thanks for popping in. Enjoy your day. And I have magnets hooked to the little edges of the shelves. And I can stick my needles and my scissors and all those kinds of things, which then aren't taking up my workspace. But they hang all around me, which I find really convenient. Good morning, Janet Nash. Janet Nash, I am still hopeful that I am going to come over to your neck of the woods, maybe towards the end of the year. I'm trying to get my bonus son they're waiting for their second baby to arrive. So I haven't really talked to him yet, but I'm hoping that maybe more towards November, I might be able to come across the pond for a little visit, meet my bonus grandbabies, and hopefully meet Jen. She said I could come for tea, girls, so I'm hoping we can. Yes, I so need to see those babies. We're expecting another girl. So he's not too great in communicating. All right, so that's side one. Now, if you just joined us, I'm going to put together a cloth journal with some Kantha. Am I saying that right, Eileen? Kantha fabrics, squares. And then I had this little, Devin suggested maybe putting some other fabric in between some of the pages. And a little while back, I had gotten a coloring book from one of those little gals on Etsy. And it came in this cute little sack of muslin. So usually if you pull one side, you can just really zip it out, and the muslin's just a little heavier, and it's not pulling out as easily as it might. I should probably snip the other end. Your little red wagon. Hello. Or this is Renee, right? Is it? I think I have it right. Renee, is that you? Good morning. Yes, I got it right. Oh, good. Good morning, Renee. Okay. So I'm going to use this, and I'm probably going to just see if I can tear some squares to add in between, because I think that was a good idea. instead of it being all Kantha. And then if I do decide to put my collection of pins in my fabric book, I then will have some plain pages to pin them to, which that's very enticing for me. Snip, snip. Oh, maybe this will work better. And I'm not going to be too fussy about pages and page size. I'm just going to do I'll see how much. I'm not really great with, this was kind of a fluke. Devin's asking what kind of pins, for those of you that watch the replay, what kind of pins I collect. It just kind of happened by accident. I bought a grab bag of something, oh gosh, a couple of years ago, and there were a couple of these pins. I should grab them and show you. And I thought, oh, they're cute. I can't use them in anything. I'm just going to have to hold on to them. And then I bought a grab bag of something else, another 6 months later or whatever. And I thought, oh, I can't give up. See, this is my problem. I've said this before. I hate to repeat myself, but see, even with the charms and stuff I order to use for projects, I get them and they're so cute. It's just like I have to hold on to them for a little bit until I can make myself use them. Oh, thank you, Janet. Well, I was thinking I really would have liked to stitch those pages and use my machine, but I haven't gotten my room cleaned up enough yet to put my machine up. Like stitch the pages before I put them in the book. All right. Let me just see if I can pop up and grab my, not too much of a mess there. I should be able to grab my pins. All right. This is my little pin box. So some of them are the button pins, that you used to get as kids. They're not really worth anything. I just like them. Several years ago, a girlfriend of mine, Kathy, and I were doing a lot of knitting. We worked together, and we were doing a lot of knitting, and we went to Colorado. No, I'm lying. Connecticut. And there were lots of things to do. Of course, lots of shopping, and there were little classes you could go to. And of course, we rented a room because we were several hours from home. Hey, good morning, Angie. And one of the things they had there was you could sit down and you could knit on the biggest sock in the world. So when you did that, you got this little pin. So I have that, and then I just collected those. But then it kind of grew from that. estate sales. You know, if I get a grab bag, I go through and anything that, let's see. Oh, I keep forgetting my camera is backwards. This is a walrus. This one's leather. It's a raccoon. And somebody put a pin back on it. And look, I've got a moose and like a mallard. I don't know if you can see them well. Look at this one. This is a souvenir pin of a whale. How cute is he? See, like I can't not keep that. I just love him. This is a little, okay, this is a rabbit trail. You have the walrus, Holly? Oh, that's a riot. So this screams Jersey Shore, does it not? A seagull. And this little red dress, it's got a little red heart on there. I forget what I think I have her on an actual cardboard. But it's some kind of, I don't know if it was a Deborah Hart thing or this is a specific organization, but I forget what it's for. Oh, American Red Cross. Okay, there you go. Thanks, Ann. A little Merry Christmas. Look. Tweety Bird. Look at this cute one. See, see, I'm just a weirdo. See, of course, we have our pink ribbon. This is an agriculture one. Keep New Jersey green. You're doing better, Ange? That's good. We're glad to hear you're feeling better. Look, a little apple. So I've all got these cute little pins and they're just laying in this box. Here's another one of these little, now this one has a regular pin back. But that one's a little antique car that matches the other one. Look, a little basket of flowers. There we go. See, are they sweet or what? I have my Sunday school pins, Anne. I have those in my bedroom. And the little kids holding hands. An Olympic one. Look at that. See? And then, of course, local. I've got the Philadelphia Flyers. Volunteer. Look, here's another pin with the... So, at one point, Holly said you should put them in a book. So I was thinking, you know, paper, of course. And then Holly said, well, what about fabric? A little hug. That's probably an Avon thing. I can't get that one to clear up. Look at this little gal. Nobody flunks Sunday school. Yeah, I know that's got to be a certain organization, right? I guess I should look these up and know. Lighthouse. And I love if you get a grab bag, you know, you don't know what you're getting. So then when you open it up, you got all these little surprises. It's a little watering can. So then Holly said, why not fabric? And you could just pin them to fabric pages, which, you know, Holly's a genius. She's a genius. at this one. I really like the enamel, you know, pins that have the enamel on them, like these. I love those. Look, but this is a big old bonnet with a bird. Look, paintbrushes. Cool, right? And then, of course, there's some stick pins that I purchased. So this is my box of little pin treasures. So I was thinking I might be able to put those in this fabric. But like I was saying, on the Kantha, they wouldn't look so good. So, Deb, this is a great idea. Putting a different type of fabric in there. So I've got 2 layers. Well, actually, I guess she's got it cinched at the bottom here. So I've got a strip of muslin. So my pages were 6.5 by 6.5. So I guess I'll make them the same size. See how many additional pages I can get. And I'm just going to do a rough snip. Those plastic sheets with the little squares that people use to stitch in. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's some kind of canvas, they call it. Plastic canvas or something. Oh my gosh, you'll just see me trying to do those things. That's true. That's true, Tina. The only thing with those that I'm thinking right quickly off the top of my head, it would be hard to turn the page. But that's certainly a thought. All right, let's see. I'm just going to use my, sorry guys, my Timmy 6.5. And where's those little scissors? She's a ripper. She's back. Angie's back. She feels herself again. That was a tweet pin. That's cute, Ange. All right, and then I'm just going to rough these. I love fabric that tears. Oh, holly. That is cool. So I think, girls, if I do this, I could get 2 out of this. I'm glad, and I always wonder if I do this, you know, on a stream or a video, if it makes people crazy to hear that tear. I'm okay with these pages being a little shorter in the book, and that way I can get more out of my... So let's unclamp, clamp and unclamp. So if I do this, see, and I figured with it being fabric, right, I'll be flexible. I can always come back in and slow stitch stuff on the pages, or, you know, do it like if I see, you know, check out that design, a stitch page, you know, or ideas online like Ann had suggested. I'm trying to think what patrol I was in where they were birds or robin. Oh, I don't know, Janet. Okay, so I could do every other probably, right? Now I want my edges that were sewn tucked into the spine so I don't have to look at those little holes. All right. I just, I'm really not a sewer, but I really do like I do love fabric. Well, I like touching stuff. I'm very, very, I don't want to say touchy-feely, but what do they call that? Tactile or... I was going through some paper yesterday and doing some fussy cutting. I forget. I buy this stuff and then I stack it up in a pile and then I forget what I have there. And it's just such fun going back through it and like, oh, I forgot I had that. And I really could always, what are you working on, Ange? You doing yo-yos or what are you working on? See, I could always come back and add a bit of lace on the end here. Bring it out a little further. That's an idea. Or some cute, see, I got this at the market. See, that would look cute maybe on the edge of, let's face it. The possibilities are endless. And that's one of the amazing things about art and crafting. I'm going to have to straighten these back out. Like Dee Dee's always telling us, write this stuff down. When you get an idea, you start working on something, and another thought occurs to you, or you see something online, or you watch one of our friends in our community do something. You think, "Ooh, I could do that, or I could tweak it this way," or it's just wonderful. Look, I put my little template in the book. Hey, KJ Rain. Hi. How are your ceramic projects going? Okay, let's see here. All right, my last tear. This is such an excellent idea. Okay. Now we're going to back it up. Back it up. All right, I'm going to lay these all on here and stack them back up. Yes, well, we've actually done both. For the light bulbs that I paint, he uses canned spray paint. And he's fashioned up a system where he's taken, like, I guess you would call it a 2x4, and he's drilled holes that the light bulb like kind of almost screws in. So they stand, let's see, I have a light bulb here. See if I can get one unhooked here. I have my Yoda. If I can get him off the hook. I went to Harbor Freight, and they've got these great magnets that have a hook on them, and they're heavy duty. They're not very expensive. Okay, so you have your light bulb, and up here is the part that you would screw into your lamp. So he's made a board that he can screw the bulb in or pop it down in, so the bulb sits this way. So then he uses can spray to spray paint and get my base coat on for me. Okay, so that's what we do now. But in years past with ceramics, when I was doing, you don't know. I keep saying and that's a bad habit. Doing craft shows and selling finished ceramic pieces, and I would do, oh, I don't know, 50. Good morning, Rain Girl. Okay, so Rain Girl, are you Cindy? Let's see if the brain's kicking in this morning. Oh, cool, Candy. And with having to do so many pieces of ceramics. Oh, good, great. Good morning, Cindy. Good morning. And we would use our air gun then, and I would base coat, say, like 50 chicks at one time. Say I was going to do them a certain way, and then of course use the dry brushing. So instead of sitting and hand painting a base coat on 50 chicks and 25 bunnies or whatever, I would use my air gun to spray paint that base coat on. All right, so I'm just lining up my pages. And for those of you that are just joining, I've got these squares of Kantha fabric picked out, mostly oranges, golds, and Devin suggested putting a different fabric in between those pages, which is a great idea because I have a little pin collection that I think I want to pop in this journal. Oh, look there. Oh, yeah, I wanted that first page to be Kantha, not. Okay, so that's what I did there. All right, so this this looks actually pretty straight, and I think I can use that as a guide to do my stitching. So I'm going to go ahead and reclamp my pages. All right, and I'm going to need another binder clip. Let's just see if I have one close by. Oh, here's one. I could clip them all over the place. So I'm going to have that ready. And we've decided on this I know that feeling. I usually am sticking my elbow or the side of my hand in a puddle of paint, and I know I'm going to do it. Sometimes I use this. See, this is the thing that's crazy for me. I keep trying to see where my glare is on my screen, and it's backwards. I keep forgetting to go in and change that setting. And always putting my fist in paint. And I say to myself, you're going to do that, and I do it anyway. All right, so I'm going to do this. Unwind my thread. I'm going to leave all 6 strands together. And I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and I'm just going to make this a little longer because I think I might want to put a charm inside. So I'm just going to have this a little longer, and then I can decide. I have plenty of embroidery thread. Okay, so I'm not gonna fuss about having to cut off some thread and not using it. Now somewhere I have a thimble-y kind of thing, which might be good to have. Where did I pop that? I think I popped it. Oh, girls, I just move everything. I move everything. I don't know if I know I found it and I thought, oh, I'll just pop it in there. Yeah, I moved it, and that's all right. We'll wing it. All right, so now I want to put little marks if I can, to try to just give me a guide of where I want to go down in and do my stitches. Okay. Okay, great. I love doing that. That way you can get something done and you kind of feel like you have company. I love working and I guess, working, but I love doing that. Okay, so I'm going to do, I think I want the stitching closer together. So rather than doing 5, I think I'm going to do the 7. So I'm going to mark my center dot, spot dot, and then I'm going to come in here around there and see, these are all kind of, I got to make sure I didn't like I think I'm going to reclamp, because that's kind of, I don't know if you can see that, it's kind of like pushed my pages a little bit. I'm making a fabric journal, Cindy, and using these pieces of Kantha, and they kind of zhuzhed a little bit. Oh, I love that word zhuzh. I just wish I could spell it. And I'm going to use the Japanese type stitching. Finally made it, the Habitat for Humanity restore, and picked up some National Geos. Cool, Holly. Oh, thanks, Holly, they can, I think National Geographic probably can be shipped media mail. Now I was going to go, yeah, I guess I should have put my dots over there, but I can look. Maybe I should put my dots closer here, but I'm not going to fuss about it, girls. I'm just not going to fuss about it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to use this line here on my Kantha as my guide to try to make we need that kind of stuff in New Jersey. I don't remember what I said. Candy. I'm thinking about my, okay, so, all right, so you don't want to knot your thread. I guess you could, really. And so I'm going to start with I'm going to start here with my third hole in. I'm going to find this like more towards the middle of the book. And I'm going to come up through all those layers of fabric. And try not to get a knot. And then I'm going to bring that out so it's hanging out the where the loose pages are of my book. And I'm going to clamp this. This is a first for me too, Cindy. So now these are going to be, of course, deeper because I went in and I'm following that stitch line. So I'm going to come around the outside edge of my journal and I'm going to attempt to find, or close to find, that same spot. where I went down. And without having a thimble, you know what, girls? The end of this needle is not smooth. It feels like it's just picking a little bit. So I'm going to find myself another needle here. That's too dull. I need, with fabric, you need something with a point to stab through. Let's see what my choices are here. I'm going to go with this big sword one I used the other night, see if this will work for me. Let's see. All right, let's go back around the edge of the... Oh, that's pretty close. And I'm kind of just pushing it down because I don't have a whole lot of strength in my hand. And the other thing you can do is, if you have any of like these jewelry tools, you can grab your... Oh, that helps me so much. I can just grab that with those little pliers type things. They're not pliers, you know what I mean. I always call them a pincher. Okay, now on a regular book with pages, you're going to pull that as tight as you can because the pages aren't going to really go anywhere, right? But see, if I pull this tight with a fabric, it's going to buckle, and I don't want that. So I'm going to just put my leg down there, pull it how I want it, and then go to my next stitch, which is going to be to the left. I put my dot here, so I'm going to pop it through. See if I can use my... Oh, that's a little better. All right, again, see, I'm a little crooked, but you know what? I'm gonna live with that. This is for me. I'm not gonna sell this, so I can relax a little bit. It doesn't have to be, you know, perfect. So now I'm gonna come... We came out the bottom of the pages there, the book. So I'm gonna come around the outside edge of my spine side, and I'm going to go... This is easier because you can see where you went down, and go back down. All right, so I'm going to gently pull that and make sure that's straight. Again, I don't want it to buckle. Can you guys see what I'm doing? I maybe bring that camera down a little bit. I have a highly automated filming setup here, girls. I just grab my camera and pull it down. Okay. So now I'm at the back again. So I want to come up right around here. So that's pretty good. That wasn't too bad. I'm just going to push that down. And I'll grab this again. Yes, that is very true, Holly. Very true. All right. So, and again, oh, now look, that's a little too, off for me. See how crooked that is? Yeah, Lori can't handle that much. Lori can't handle that much crooked. Okay. So, it's off here. Well, girls, this might take a little longer than anticipated. Ollie, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, girls. I can't deal. This is a stretch. This is a this is a stretch for me. I can, I can handle some imperfection. Look how far off that is. Okay, it should be way down there. Okay, so how am I going to adjust? I'm going to adjust. So I'm coming back up again, and I'm taking better care to watch. I'm not going to worry about that first stitch so much. And it is the back. And let's face it, I could always put some beautiful trim on the back. All right, so that's a little better. Outside, wrapped it around the outside of the spine. And I'm trying really carefully not to twist and knot my embroidery thread. Okay, so the front doesn't look bad. So now I've come out the underneath. And yeah, I know that's easier said than done for me, Holly. I just can't explain it. I just can't explain it. Maybe it's from all the knitting that I've done over the years, but I mean, I will take out something. I can remember my daughter when I was teaching her to knit, and she got going on her own, and she'd have a project she wanted to do, like her and her girlfriend. Thanks, Cindy. And they had I purchased this really cool knitting book that had all these cool things in it. Her and her roommate went through the book, and I pick up my book, and they're post-it notes. Like on every, I'm like, what's with all the post-it notes? Oh, well, they're all the things we want you to make us, Mom. I'm like, you know what, girls? It's time you learn to knit. You can make your own stuff. In the travel journal, KJ, yeah, you could. You could glue things on. You could use it as a glue book. You could make separate things out of paper or really whatever you'd like, and then tuck them in the pockets or whatever. I was thinking I might use mine to pop my receipts in when I'm out picking things up, or I'm not supposed to keep track of my mileage. I don't. I could write that on a card. All right, so now I've come around the outside edge of my spine again, and I'm going to come back up through that hole I just made, and look at there. Now I'm trying really hard not to split my thread, because that's a nightmare to me. It doesn't look good, and if you want to take it out and redo it, it's really a nightmare. All right, so again, I'm not pulling that too terribly tight. Of course, that's slanted, but it doesn't look, really bizarre. Let's see, Cindy. Yeah, you could really do anything you want with that kind of a book. So we're going to go to the left, and I've got a little mark there where I want my next stitch. And as I'm putting my needle in, I want to kind of line that up. Now that's going to be off a little bit, girls, but you know what? It's just going to be off a little. So I'm going to pull that. But you could journal on those pages too if you wanted to, Cindy. You could add additional paper on top if you wanted a more open, clear surface to write and journal on. All right, so now that we came down from the top to the bottom, and we're going to come around the outside of that spine again and go back down into that spot that we went down just a second ago. And I think where I am getting off on the bottom is that I'm not pushing my needle down exactly straight. So I'm trying to be straighter that way. Oh, and this, you know, guys, I could stitch on buttons, right? Oh my gosh, I love buttons. I have so many, girls, I have so many buttons that I can't bring myself to use because I love them. I can stitch them on my book. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's straighten this out. Meanwhile, I now have cold coffee again. So now we're at the bottom of the book again. So I want to come up here. This will be my last hole on this spot. Little bells. I have little rusty bells. Right, Deb? I could stitch on little bells. I mean, I don't care how puffy it gets. All right, so I'm going to try to use my... Yes, I made this too close to the... I need to back it up a little bit here, I think. I'm just trying to... See, when you do this on paper and you have your holes punched it... Oh, good, Ange. It's probably good that you take it easy today, Ange. So that's not too bad. The back is going to be a little, let's face it, a little wonky. All right, so we're going to pull that through. All right, so I'm back up at the top. I'm going to come back around the outside of the spine, go back into that hole, and zhuzh it to come back up around that same hole. Oh, now I'm excited to look through my buttons. I have some that I think are old, but you know what? It's probably just me. They're probably not really that old, but I still like the way they look. And every time I dig through my, whoops, my nail caught on that little stitch. Every time I dig through my button box, I always avoid those ones that I really think are cute. Okay, so now I'm at the spot where I'm going to turn my book, and I want this stitch to come around the top side of my book. See, and you can see here a little bit how much my pages have kind of shifted. But, you know, this feels really cool, guys. So I'm going to come around that top edge, and I'm going to go back into that same spot. And for me personally, I'm trying not to split my threads on my embroidery thread, because as most of you probably know, there's 3 strands of thread that makes the embroidery thread. Sorry for all the clonking. Okay, so now I've got to adjust my threads here. All right, so making that straight. I've got that where I want it. Now I'm going to turn my work again, the spine facing me. And here's where we see the blank spots. It might be hard for you to see because of this, the print on the fabric, but I'm going to come down into that next hole and close up that gap. So I'm going to go right back down and try to hit the right spot on the back as well. And it's hard for me to grip the needle, so if I use a little pair of pinchers, it works a lot better for me. And all right. So again, I'm not pulling it too terribly tight because I don't want it to be buckled. Because with the fabric being flexible, you know, the tighter you pull it, it's going to gather a little bit. All right, so I'm going to flip it over. We've got a spot here that's blank. So I'm going to go in that next hole, if you will, and I'm going to try to get that. Oh, that's pretty good. Get that in the right spot. And of course, I'm trying to keep mindful too to not twist my embroidery thread. And then if we have another blank space, so we're going to come down from the top back into that corner of those stitches, and that's not too bad on the bottom side as well. Now I have to think about how I want to arrange my pins. Oh, I just thought of ball pins. You know those little pins that they don't have the coil on the bottom, or sometimes they're called, well, they're different, I guess, coilless pins or the ball pins. I could put little beads and pin them to the pages. Oh my gosh. Another obsession. Okay, see here, this one I didn't bring on the back side. I didn't bring that leg down very far enough. So I'm on the bottom side. I've got another blank spot. So I want to come up here. So let's see if I can get close. Man, right? I should, Devin, because my brain is not a steel trap anymore like it ever was. Okay. If I put down bold pins, that might give me, okay, so we said buttons. And of course I want my pins. And then bulb, pins, and beads. Yep. So I got a little bit of a gap there, but you know what? It's not too bad. And where I short stitched there didn't come down far enough, look, it's on a dark space. So really, at a glance, I'm not even going to see that. All right, so now I want to come down to, all right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then my end stitch 7. So I want to come in right around here. And I'm going to try to come down as straight as I can. Pop that. Meanwhile, I hope yeah, it's still there. My thread is still in the middle of my pages. So we're going to scoot that through all the fabric. And give it a pull on this side. No knots, please. I don't want a French knot there. I've gone and done it, girls. All right, so let's pull this one through, get that out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. I got it, guys, I got it. Okay. All right, so we're going to pull that, not too terribly tight. So we're now at the back side edge. We're going to come around the outside of the spine and back down that same hole, same spot. I'm going to try to line that up and off a little bit there. That's pretty good. Okay. Coming down the home stretch. Make sure that's on the outside of my, I think I want my thread there on the other side. All right, straighten that up. So now we're underneath and we're going to come back up to our last spot. Somewhere around there. And then I was thinking it would be cute on a book to do the spacing of your stitches, you know, a little different, which I'll have to check out what Eileen was talking about, different designs. But instead of trying to space them like this, you know, put one here and then the next one, and then maybe a double, put one real close and then a gap and then another one real close, you know, switch it up a little bit. You know, anything to make yourself crazy, I think, is really good. All right, so we're coming around the outside edge again. And we're going to come back up through that bottom space. Oh, look, girls, that went perfect. That was perfect. Oh, embroidery. You could do an embroidery design. Like say I took on my, oh, maybe I'll do it on the front cover. You know, like stitch the center in solid and then stitch and embroider like a big flower. Okay. Embroidered pattern. All right, so I want to make sure that's straight. Now I'm going to turn the book. I'm going to get rid of this clamp. Turn the book to face me like I was going to read it. And I want this stitch to go around the bottom edge. And I'm going back into that same spot. Just off a little teeny tiny bit. Okay, I'm going to give that a little tug and straighten that up. Okay. I'm going to turn it back this way. Now, it might be hard to see, but I do have a gap here. So I want to go back in and fill that up. So I'm going back down into that spot. And I want to get that. Oh, that's pretty good. In there. Whoops. I keep thinking I'm going to eventually drop something on this glass mat and it's going to crack. All right, so I've got a big gap here. So this is my last stitch. So I don't want to come all the way through. I want to come partially through and I want to meet that thread that I've tucked away in the center. So let me get rid of my other clip and dig through my pages. So there I am. And maybe I'll just fold this back. Oh, this is the nice part about the fabric. See, paper, you can't do this. So I'm going to come back in through that hole to start, but I'm only going to go part way because I want to come up and meet this other thread that I have tucked in the center. Now in hindsight, when I do this the next time, and trust me, there will be a next time, whether it be paper or fabric, I think I want to start more towards the center because I think you can start wherever you want. And then if I want to do charms or have these threads stay long, it'll be more towards the center. Wouldn't that make more sense instead of it being down low? So I'm going to just tie a knot here, ladies. Just like that. Now I'm going to leave these in the center because I'm not going to fuss with those right this second. Put my needle back up on my magnet. And there we have it. Now see, I do have that gap there. All right. Oh, I wish I was close to you, Ange. I would show you how to do it. It's really not difficult. But there are a few little things you want to keep in mind. Like when I first started, I had my stitches not all going the same direction. Yes, it could be. It could be, Cindy. I was thinking I might put a flower on the front, do like an embroidery slow stitch, if you will, or I could get another piece of fabric and stitch down a center, you know. You could stitch words on there, but mostly I was thinking I just love these fabrics. And then when Devin suggested the plain pages, see, now what did I do with my little pins? Now this will be the other thing. But see, the cool part about this is, thank you, Eileen. The cool part about this is if where I decide to put my pins, if I don't like where they are, I can, switch them out. So let's say I'm going to do this first muslin page all about the seashore pins that I have. Now I know I have that seagull. Right now, it's not going to be a flat book. Okay, it's going to be lumpy and bumpy because I'm going to put my pins in here and I'm going to stitch on some buttons and put some bells. Now, see, something like this, I'm going to have a hard time parting with this little cardboard thing. So I may do something different with that one. And see, like this guy's in a little box. Now he's not Jersey Shore. Oh, I used to go to Margate when I was single, Eileen. Great place, right? Mm-hmm. Look, he would just look so cute off of this board. So I'm going to take him off of this one. This one doesn't look too vintagey to me. Let me see if I can see how to get him free. There he goes. Yeah. Those were the days. Oh, look, guys. Look how cute that is. Okay, what else do I have here that's shore-ish? Not these. I wonder if I have any of these that are, although I like that kind of a look. So let me just go ahead and pin these on and see what happens. Let's fuss a little bit. Okay, so this is a like pin back type. Bradley Beach? Did you grow up at Bradley Beach, Cindy? I mean, Candy? Like Bradley Beach near Ocean Grove? Oh my gosh, I love Ocean Grove. Bradley Beach, Asbury Park. Oh my gosh, I always wanted that life. I always wanted to go to the shore and work for a summer, and I just was not that adventurous back then. Although my dad probably wouldn't have let me anyway. My dad was very cautious with his 3 girls. There's a place down there, it might be in Neptune. It's called Ollie Klein. It's a restaurant. They do seafood. Oh my Lord. I just said to my husband, please, please, can we go at least once this season? My aunt had an apartment every year, and my dad rented a room in a boarding house. Oh, wow. How wonderful. Yeah, I probably could pin it on the cardboard, huh? I don't know if I liked it the way it looked that way, but I might. I might. Or I might put a little pocket. Well, I could put a little pocket on too, right? And put a pin on a pocket. All right, I'm going to put my other. I mean, this guy's really cool, right? See, I don't think they're really worth anything. This is true, Holly. My mom was a little spitfire. She still is a little bit of a spitfire. All right, let's pinch this on. From the West Coast, just moved north of Boston. Oh, so we're not too far from me. I'm not too far from you. Oh. Well, if you ever want to visit the Jersey Shore, make sure you let me know. We'll have lunch. We can have lunch. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this little whale. He's just so cool. Sequins. If I glued some sequins in a row on fabric, would I be able to use sewing machine over them? Um, I think you certainly could. I mean, I'm really not a sewer per se. I mean, I make myself do stuff. I haven't attempted to sew on sequins. I think I personally would like the hand stitched on look. But I think if you look at like sequined belts and stuff like that, I think that's probably how they do it, right? They probably stitch right over them and stitch them. They probably have their machine set up, perhaps where the stitch size hits the hole of the sequin. I don't know. No, I think they're pretty sturdy because, like, I have like a little moo. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. Not a little moo. I have a moo. Okay, and it's got some of those sequins on. Yeah, stitching over glue can be tough. That's true, Eileen. That's a very good point. Um, but when I go to like try to pinch those sequins, man, you can't really get them to pinch. They're pretty sturdy. Oh, okay. Deb said her mom used to stitch them. And that's a good idea too. Holly's saying to just do a little sample. See how it works for you. Okay, this pin, okay, I've got him upside down. That's why. Let me get my whale on here. Now I might have a big button too that I could use for the center of a flower on the front cover. You know I'm going to have to get out my buttons. Just going to have to. Um, hey, Darla. Okay, so Darla is recommending that we check out Claire Rowley Creative Feet, Rowley. Okay. Oh my gosh, skating, you girls did a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, I think any of the glues can really gum up your machine, right? And it is harder to get. Uh-oh, I bent that a little bit, I think, guys. Uh-oh. Come on, where's my opening? Ah! I need to be able to see where my little opening is for this. Oh, there it is. It's right on top. All right, let's secure him down. There he is. Now, see, this is going to swing. What was what called again? Hey, Kimberly. KJ, if you don't mind, maybe you could tell me your first name. KJ, I can call you Rain. Do you mind if I call you Rain? What was that called again? You mean that site? It was called, let me see, I can go back, I think, on my phone. It was called Claire with an E, Claire Rowley, Rowley, Creative Feet. Like you have feet that go into a shoe, not like you accomplished a feat. Okay, so I was just thinking I could also slow stitch on here. I could put some waves, right? I could slow stitch, or if I see a decal. Oh, thanks, Holly. Kelly. Okay, Kelly. Cool. Thanks. Kelly's one of my ceramic buddies. We could put a sun here, so that's an idea. The other thing, okay, let me go to another page. I'm going to go to another clear page, I think, a muslin page, because what I was saying was, I think on some of the Kantha, although I love that fabric, I'm not sure the pins would look so great on them. Maybe some of these would. Yeah, these might look okay. But I was thinking in particular, these ones that are made out of leather. I have no idea where I got this stuff, guys. Look, that's a moose. Here's a raccoon. In our family, they're known as Racky-Cooney because my nephew had a stuffed raccoon, and that's what he called it as he was growing up. How cute, right? I thought I had another one. Guess I just have those three. Okay. I had a New Jersey agricultural, but I don't think I want that on the seashore page. That flower might be a state flower. I don't know. I think these guys are cool. Okay, let's see here. Kelly says, have you seen the button wreaths? Oh, geez. No. Put all your favorite buttons in one. My grandmother used to have a candy tin. Yes, a candy tin full of, oh boy. Oh my gosh. When I was still working, one of the gals that worked with me, she said, "Oh, Lori, you like buttons? My mother's got buttons." I'm like, "Oh, joy. I would love to see those buttons." And I've told this story before, too. My family was on vacation. We were going camping. We like to camp in North Jersey. It's called, okay, bye, Dev. Thanks for coming in. Have a great day. Is Laura here? What is Laura here? If I miss Laura, I feel so bad. Laura, if you're here or listening, sweetie, happy birthday. So we were on vacation, and we were waiting for my brother-in-law to arrive with my girlfriend Joyce, who's like a sister. Oh, okay, Candy. And yeah, we'll have to embellish that page a bit. Let's see what I have for the front as far as now I put all my buttons in another drawer. Well, all right, ladies, don't judge me. And these, I still have, I think, a few other buttons. But let me just see what kind of a big button I have. See if the camera's going to do anything funky. Oh, look at that big red one. That might be. Anyway, so we were on vacation. Oh, look, that would make a great center flower of a flower. My brother-in-law, we're waiting for them to arrive. We wanted something to do, so we figured we'd go out. And we found a little shop that was an antique shop. So we stopped in. They had a spot where you could get an ice cream or whatever. And I went in and spied yeah, sometimes you don't get that great of a variety. My button stash, I still do have some other ones in jars, but I decided instead of being, a crazy person and having several drawers, I dumped them all in the one drawer. But my family, it had antiques. Okay. So it would have, this shop had antique, like say a vanity or a bureau or a sideboard, whatever you want. My grandmother called them a sideboard. And they'd have, the lace doily, and then they might have an antique piece or a carving of a bird or something sitting onto, it was, an antique shop. It looked great. It's old mirrors on the wall, all kinds of stuff. Well, as I walked back towards the back of the store, they had a huge bowl, like a wooden salad bowl, huge, filled with buttons and different kinds of little, well, I found a chair, plopped myself down. One of the workers, I said, do you mind if I dig through these? She's like, oh, no, have at it. So I sat there. My family's like, come on, come on. I'm like, can you go somewhere else and come back and get me? No. But see, I could sit for hours and dig through buttons. They just fascinate me, and I love them. See, these are my square ones, and they look like a mother of pearl finish. And I just love them. A guy at the co-op gave me a bunch of those. I'm just going to do this. Oh, look how cute that is. Look, I put that on a... don't remember doing that. That bumble ball don't belong in there. Okay, stay focused, Rose. Stay focused. So I'm looking for... See, I love this red button. I love the way that it's shaped. I love the way that the color is variegated. And I love that it's so silky smooth. I'm a freak. Freaky! These might be a little too dark, but that would be a nice... Yeah, I don't think I want that. I'm trying to find one. Oh, see, now look how cool this is. I have metal buttons somewhere else. That one didn't get in the right place, but see, I like that guy. Have you ever done this? Tried to bend these paper clips to make them look cute? A button Christmas tree or wreath on fabric, button a picture frame. Oh, nice. I really want to do one. I've also seen oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, Kelly, that sounds cool. You have a gallon jug of buttons. I mean, to me, buttons are like addictive. But see, I have that kind of personality. I get addicted to things very quickly. Like Japanese stitch binding. Hello. Somebody made a comment on, I can't remember the gal's name that made a comment on my hop video. So I was responding to her and I said, now I'm thinking about making smaller little journals with only a few pages that I can stitch like that and then use them to tuck into my other larger journals, right? So, I mean, there's just so many wonderful things you can do and ideas. See, like this. I have a bag somewhere. It's just got all my buttons that are on cards. Yeah, well, I wish I knew what happened. I know my grandmother had to have had a container of buttons and probably an old tin. But I don't know where all that. See, I was just getting married when my grandmother passed or had just gotten married. And I was, not in this crazed art space that I'm in now. Like, and, I wish because I have no idea. Of course, my dad's gone. No idea. Really, all my dad's family's gone. And there's nobody to ask, what happened to all that stuff. I got my grandmother's doll. And my husband won't let me display her because he says she's too scary. Sometimes on that, like the Facebook Marketplace or eBay, I think you can do a little better price-wise with buttons. And then it's like a surprise. It's like a treat, when you get them, you don't know what you're going to have. And I just love digging through them. Now that one I took okay, I don't want to be here forever looking through the buttons. I think the ones I have might work. I was just looking to see if I could show you one of those ones that I really... Oh, see, look, I started putting them in a bag to separate them out. Let me just show you a few of these. This is okay, so now I don't know if this is antique or vintage, but see, I love the little shape of that. He's like an octagon, see, and it's a double layer. Now these are dark ones, but see how the holes are separated and they're not close together and they're very large. See, I just love that. This one's not old, but it's a cute little heart. Okay. But see, like these, it looks like bone. Look, this still has old thread in it. I can't take that thread out. I'm going to have to use that with the thread because that's old thread. See, I'm sick. Sick, I tell you, sick. There's a navy blue button I have somewhere that it's just a regular button. It's not an old button, but the way the my is, I love it. I can't use it on anything, and I just keep throwing it back into my button stash. Look here, I've got a bag inside of a bag. Now, isn't that crazy? Oh, that one's latched. That's kind of goofy. All right, I'll stop in 1 minute. Oh, look, see, there's a square one. He's in the wrong. Yeah, look at these. See? Yeah, see, Holly's making fun of me, but guess what? She purchased something I made that had this button on it because of the button. Look at that button. I guess it's copper because it's kind of got a patina. And that center can pop out. I don't think it's supposed to. But this older gentleman that his daughter owns the co-op, and he had a bag of buttons, and he's like, you want those buttons? You can have those buttons. I sold this. I almost had a heart attack. Okay? I used one. I can't bring myself to use the other one. But see now, oh, you know what? I'll just keep that out. Now I'm going to stitch it in my book. See? Right, a tag, okay? See? So I'm not the only goofball. Yeah, I'm addicted to vintage things too. I'm addicted to too many things. Just ask my husband. He'll be happy to share. Okay. Enough of the buttons already. But see, I could sit here for 3 hours and go back through all these buttons that I've already seen 100 times and relook at them. Okay? I'm not well. I'm telling you, I am not well. And what about a button bracelet? Okay, have we gone there yet? No. I'm trying this here real quickly. What I'm looking at here. I'm still waiting to come across a jar bag of buttons like other gals have found. I know, right, Cindy? I mean, that's like your heart stops. Because some of these places, they want $40 for like a canning jar. I mean, a small little pint jar of buttons. Okay, Dee, have a good afternoon. I'm getting off in a few minutes. A button bracelet at a quilt show a few years back, and it was beautiful and not cheap. I guess not, because I'm trying to figure out how to put one together, and guess what? Yeah, I get it. All right, so this is going to go, it just might go on my front cover. And I'm thinking I'm going to put this button on here. And maybe I'll do something like this. And then either with other fabric and stitch down, or just use embroidery stitches and make a cover that's covered with button flowers. All right, let's see. It's 12:30 here Eastern. I'm ready for some lunch. So I thank you all for joining me this fabulous Saturday morning with my little project here of my Kantha. This is my first fabric book. I'm loving it. Yes, Angie. Next market, I'm going to get some of those yo-yos. For sure. Great idea. Because I love yo-yos, but I really... You know what I don't like, Angie? I don't like cutting out the circles. I don't mind making them and stitching them, but I sure don't like cutting them out. All right, I'm going to sign off. Again, thank you for joining me. Thank you, Holly. I know Sharon's in the background there keeping an eye on me. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, thank you. Don't forget, take time to be creative. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy your Saturday. And I'll see you somewhere on the tube. Bye, ladies. Take care. Bye-bye.